Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, December 3. In Squiz Kids today, COVID vaccine breakthrough, the penguins who went to the movies, China lands on the moon, and the most streamed songs of 2020. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
It's the news we've all been waiting for. A coronavirus vaccine that was shown to be 95% effective in extensive human trials has been approved for use in the United Kingdom and could be rolled out there as early as next week. It means that immunisations for people considered to be in high-risk groups could begin within days. It normally takes a vaccine up to 10 years to be developed and approved for use. This vaccine, developed by the big pharmaceutical company Pfizer, uses a teeny tiny fragment of the COVID virus to teach the body how to fight it and build immunity. It's a huge breakthrough in the battle against COVID, and a wonderful Christmas present for the people of the UK, where a second wave of the coronavirus has crippled the country again. People in aged care and health workers will receive the vaccine first. Last month, the Australian government announced it had secured 10 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine and predicted it would be available here in early 2021. So, does it mean we can all go out and celebrate that COVID is over? Not exactly. We're all going to have to keep social distancing and being careful for the time being, but it's certainly an exciting step in the right direction. Quick! Someone send some Quelchers to Queensland. Quick sticks. Why? Because yesterday there were several parts of the state in which December temperature records were broken as the first heat wave of the Aussie summer continued its slow march across the country. Temperatures were expected to reach 46 degrees in Gundawindi, 44 degrees in St George and 41 degrees in Dalby. It was so warm in Dalby that a koala came down out of a tree and cooled off under a sprinkler. And yes, of course, there's a link to a video of that in today's episode notes.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Chicago, in the United States, where a bunch of penguins have been to the movies. The penguins are residents of Shed Aquarium, a place that prides itself on making sure all of the animals in its care are mentally stimulated, which is to say that they get opportunities to get out of their enclosure once in a while and use their brains. The penguins have already been to visit a nearby football stadium, and they've even spent a day wandering around the local art museum. So this trip to the cinema was not so out of the ordinary. Their keepers say that it helps to relieve the boredom that can otherwise set in for an animal kept in captivity. And because there's nothing cuter than a penguin in an art gallery, there's a link to a cool video in today's episode notes.
Spaced out.
In yet another big achievement for the world's efforts to eventually establish a permanent human base on the moon, China yesterday successfully landed its spacecraft Chang'e 5 on the surface of the moon. It's been sent there to collect moon rock samples to bring back to Earth. If successful, it will be the first rocket in 44 years to bring back lunar samples. Lunar is the adjective used to describe anything related to the moon. This is the third time China has landed a spacecraft on the moon. It currently has 7 robots on or orbiting around the moon. Meanwhile, the United States is planning to have astronauts back up on the moon by 2024 and is hoping to have a permanent base for humans set up on the moon by 2030. Let the next space race begin.
Pop Culture Corner.
Dance Monkey. It's the song that just won't go away. Only days after it was named the most searched song on Shazam comes news yesterday that it was the second most streamed song on Spotify for the year. The most streamed song for 2020? That would be The Weeknd's Blinding Lights, which is an excellent tune. Rounding out the top 5 most streamed songs for the year were Roddy Rich's The Box, never heard of it, St. John's Roses Imanbek Remix, yep, never heard of that either, and Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now. Ah, now there's one I know. Good tune.
Time for the Squiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Which country has just approved the widespread rollout of a COVID vaccine? That's right, it's the United Kingdom. Question number 2. What sort of animals have been spotted going to the movies in Chicago? Yeah, they're penguins. Question number 3. What's the name of the artist whose song Blinding Lights was the most streamed on Spotify this year? You got it, it's The Weeknd.
Shout-outs.
It's December 3, International Day of People with Disability. A day created to challenge common stereotypes about disability. And, to mark the occasion, a super cool video has been produced of Aussies who live with a disability rocking out to the tune Better Than Ever. There's a link in today's episode notes and it's well worth a watch. It's also only 22 sleeps till Christmas. Hark the herald angels sing. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Janet from Eastwood, Rowan from Warringah, Braden from Cardiff South, Maddie from Kempsey, Madison from Bungendore, Josephine from Janali, Sarah from Jindalee, Miller from Abbotsford, Tom from Gymea, Nico from East Fremantle, Dennis from Adelaide, Ria from Oran Park, and Stella, who's listening all the way over there in Honiara in the Solomon Islands. And a belated birthday shout out to Josh from Kellyville. Happy birthday to you all. And today's classroom shout-outs go to 3 Purple at Grays Point Public School, all the Year 6 kids and teachers at Garden Vale Primary School, Year 6 from Catherine Macaulay Primary School in Orange, Class 5-6 Morocco at Kooringal Public School in Wagga Wagga, Class 5-6K at Stockton Public School, Class 6C from St Dimpner's Catholic Primary School in Aspley, and Mr Rick's 5-6 class at Kareen Primary School in Perth. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids.
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.